Well, this is an interesting question that I actually get asked quite frequently is it hard to make Chinese friends? Now, it's kind of hard for me to even answer this question because it's really dependent on you about how active or how proactive you are in trying to make local friends, and are you integrating, are you learning the language? It's really dependent on you. So to answer this question, I guess I could break it down into a few factors. So number one would be language. 1、2、3、4、5上山打means hit or kill, yeah. 打老虎 yeah, means tiger.
Wait, we weren't counting?
Yeah, we're not counting. Obviously, to make friends in a foreign country that speaks another language, you need to learn that language, that dialect.
My parents taught me how to count. They use this like, I think it's a rhyme.
Okay.
It's a rhyme, a Chinese rhyme. Like 1、2、3、4、5上山打老虎 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we are going to the mountains to hunt the tiger.
Wait. I thought we were counting to 10.
No.
Oh my god.
I have one local friend who actually I think we've become really good friends. I really like her. I've met her through WeChat, and she was interested in how I longboard. She thought it was super cool and she wanted to learn the longboard, and I was like, hey, you know, I'll teach you. When you have a day off from work, I will go teach you how to longboard.
I'm here with my good friend Evelyn, and I am teaching her how to longboard. Well, this is our second day. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Show me what you remember. Let's go.
Okay.
Go. Woo! You remember.
Can't feel anything. When will I learn? I push it down, push it down. I'm the one for a good time call, phone's blowing up, ringing my doorbell. I feel the love, feel the love. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Flown back till I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Flown back till I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Flown back till I can't count.
And that was super fun, you know, teaching something from where I'm from. Everybody likes to longboard, skateboard, and getting to teach that to somebody here. And then she wants to go teach her son, and now she's got something she can do with her family, and it was just such a fun experience. And then after teaching her to longboard, we sat down and chatted for a little bit, and she started teaching me phrases in Chinese.
便宜一点好吗？
便宜一点，好吗？
Yeah, 好吗 means,
好吗
means okay. Means okay. Means
好吗
could you lower the price a little bit?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, 便宜
便宜
means cheaper.
Ah, I like that.
多少钱？
多少
And
钱
then 便宜一点。
便宜一点。
哦，便宜一点点。
便宜一点点。
点点 yeah.
点点。
一点点。
And then I taught her how to say I love you in a few different languages, and she was super excited about that.
So, English, I love you.
I love you.
Chinese, well, I need.
爱你。
What's the, Spanish, te amo.
Te amo.
Te amo.
Te amo.
French, je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
T'aime.
Like with an M. T'aime.
T'aime.
Yeah, je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
Yeah.
Je t'aime.
Uh-huh.
Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
Uh-huh.
Je t'aime.
Je t'aime. And then, Romanian. Te iubesc.
Te iubesc.
Yep.
Te iubesc.
Te iubesc. Romania.
Something I've noticed particularly about China, because I've been to several countries, I speak a few other foreign languages.
Mă numesc Popi și sunt în București acum. Hablo más o menos español. Bonjour, on est où là? Hola Paris. Paris.
Some places are just very intimidating and not really accepting when you're trying to learn their language, surprisingly. For example, a country that I love and probably will live there someday, France. We're not that accepting. For me, at least when I was there, trying to learn the language.
Hello, on a tous travaillé ici au Prague. All of us worked here at Prague, at this club behind me. I worked here for 6 months. When I ran out of money, actually, I was living in Paris and I ran out of money and I got a job here. Didn't speak any French really, and it really sucked.
I found it very difficult to make friends and It took me a long time to actually feel like I was a part of the place I live and felt that I integrated. I didn't want to speak out. Even when I went to restaurants, I felt intimidated, and I'd often revert to English because I just felt not accepted. I didn't feel really, you know, appreciated for trying to learn the language. Fortunately, I just did it anyway, and I practiced, and eventually I was able to speak it. But what I've noticed specifically about China is they're extremely accepting to anybody trying to learn the language. Even if you just learned a phrase, they get so excited.
我来自美国.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about
Awesome.
我是美国人?
Perfect.
我叫 Poppy.
Nice. Ah, you're fast learner. You know, asking for the directions, you can say 请帮忙.
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 And
Sounds like
then-
a song.
yeah.
请帮忙. 请帮忙.
Easy.
I would say the next factor into trying to make friends here is cultural immersion. You know, how deep are you diving into the culture? How are you trying to change and accept another culture? You know, things are different here. If you're coming from the Western world, it is a huge culture shock because it's just different, and it's not even exactly explainable how it's different. You just kind of have to come here and find out for yourself. But, you know, people walk different, people get on the escalator different, people buy things differently, people just their attitude, everything is just different. You really got to learn to accept it, appreciate it, and even apply it. And then you will start to understand people better and be able to relate to them and then really get to know them. Another thing that I was super excited about with my friend is that, you know, her being local, she could show me all the local stuff and restaurants, and it's super cool. And she does do that. She takes me to her favorite restaurants. But then she's interested to know what I like here. You know, what is it that I find interesting in her culture and her foods and whatnot. So I took her to my favorite local restaurant here in Shenzhen, and she loved it. She said that it was local food from her hometown, and this beef we had is exactly how her dad makes it, and was super thrilled to find this place. And I felt amazing. I felt amazing that I found some really good local foods that impressed a Chinese person. Now, the third factor, I think probably a lot would ask this question, is where do you find them? Where do you find local friends? How do you make them? Again, same with any part of the world. Good place to start if you're a university student. Find friends at your university. If you have a job, you came out here to teach English, talk to your coworkers, talk to your teaching assistants. Usually those are locals. You can join clubs, you can join churches, go to the bars, clubs. It's the same thing. Everything applies the same as other parts of the world. I even made really good friends with my landlords for my apartment. WeChat is also a really good resource. Talked about this app so many times, but WeChat has groups designated for certain interests. So you can find a WeChat group for, I don't know, art, movies, filmmaking, whatever you're interested in, food. Oh yeah, there's a lot of apps for food, and that's a good way to meet up with people. If you're an expat, they have a expat Facebook page that you should definitely join no matter what. Any place you go, any city that you're moving to, usually that city will have some sort of expat page. Definitely join that, and that's a great way to ask any question you have. I don't know, visa issues, housing issues, bank issues, whatever you need, and people will dive into that, doctor issues, and that's a great way. People will post, hey, we're doing a meetup for these foreigners, and then you can go meet other people. And then also in that can lead you to these WeChat groups. So I'm also part of a WeChat group for YouTube vloggers. All the YouTubers of China, there is a group on WeChat, and it's really cool because we can talk about video stuff, which we're interested in. We can talk about future collaborations. Even Instagram, my last video, I made friends through Instagram. I posted, hey, who wants to meet up here? And I met people. Anyways, I understand I probably didn't really answer this question. As I said in the beginning, it's not really an answerable question because it's the same any place you go. It's no different coming to China. Really, to make these friends, you have to put the effort. And in my opinion, if you put the effort in, it will pay off and you will have as many local friends as you want.
请观看 Poppy 在哪里?
Perfect.
Yeah!
High five.
I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier.
Before this vlog ends, I do have a quick proposition for you guys. In the past, I've talked a lot about my love for volunteering while traveling and how I really believe it allows me to dive deeper into local culture. So my proposition to you, if you are interested, I am planning a collaboration with this awesome company called Vivid Roots, and we're planning an 8-day team trip to Guatemala, one of my favorite countries, for the first week of June to go on a crazy adventure and then also to help improve the water systems throughout the country, mainly focused on schools. Cost of this trip will include your meals, transportation, hotel, a guide, and activities like kayaking through the jungle, snorkeling on a private island in the Caribbean, hot waterfalls, and then of course the cost of these service projects. So majority of the cost of this trip, those proceeds are gonna go to improving the water systems. And we'll be working closely with the locals from the village, so really diving into that local culture and getting a taste of Mayan culture and everything that Guatemala has to offer. Who wants to come with me? I'm allowed to bring up to 20 people on this trip, and I'm definitely going. This all sounds like everything I love to do. I've heard it's truly a life-changing experience. I want to go, and I want to bring you guys. So if you are interested in this trip, send me an email, title it Guatemala Trip so I can find it easily, and let's go on an adventure together. Okay, see you next time. Bye. Oh, hold on. He wants to say goodbye first.